Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be doing our second annual, State of the Union address for Detroit sports and my Michigan Wolverines. I don't have the suit on this time. I apologize. I know last time I had a suit on. I was reading from a script or whatever. But yeah, we'll just kind of free flow it and go through here quickly. Six teams? I might even mention a little DCFC at the end, but we'll start off here with Michigan football. Update for Michigan football. Obviously, national champions. Great stuff. Sharon just hired Mr. Alford, the coach from Ohio State running backs, to come over to Michigan as running backs coach. Some call it a lateral move. I think it's a step up in the food chain, going from Ohio State to Michigan, obviously. But great haul there. Get some better recruits coming in. Obviously, Mike Hart didn't really recruit that well. But we'll see if he develops as well as Mike Hart and the rest of the staff did. So, again, some turnover there for sure. Very interested to see how Michigan looks in the spring game going forward, and along with see what the corners are doing. But not the corners, the quarterback. Defense looks great. Everything looks good there. The staff is getting really shaped up. Link Martindale's loving it, bringing in some good analysts, potentially even some more Ohio State analysts, as alleged. Who knows? We have Javi Baez numbers on reporting from some guys right now, but we'll see. Hey, they hit their last home run. We'll see how it goes from there. But overall, I like what Sharon's doing, bringing in a different angle from Harbaugh. I don't know if Harbaugh would ever, really pull off a coup like this. They could, obviously go look at the Ravens running back coach or, some ball boy for the Ravens type deal. But hey, listen, best of luck to Jim going forward. Now we can move over to Michigan basketball. I'm recording this right now. It is currently 33-27 with 18 minutes left in the second quarter or second half. Based on my understanding, this will be Juwan Howard's final game at Michigan. Potentially Ward Manuel as well, but I would say definitely Juwan. They're going to be likely 8-24 to end the season, if not 9-24, but most likely 8-24. But yeah, they're playing Penn State right now. They obviously lost to them earlier in the season when Martelli was coaching. This is Juwan's first time to try to beat Penn State here. They just scored again, actually 33-29. All right. But yeah, it does take some sort of sick individual to watch this team as much as I have. But between them and the Pistons, hey. As for Michigan hoops, who they hire, I believe it's going to be a pretty good nationally prestigious guy going forward. I know I've kind of floated out a few guys like Beeline coming back. I would say it's probably more of a national brand guy where you hear this name and you'd be like, whoa, Michigan hoops. I see what you're doing there. Major success in a Southern Conference. Now, as for the rest of the Michigan basketball roster, I expect a lot of guys to enter the portal, maybe even while the game's still going on, like we saw a Pepperdine kid do the other day. I don't think it's going to be like that per se. I think there's about 3 to 5 guys that are probably going to enter the portal. A few guys for sure. I don't really want to name drop guys just in case. But it's pretty clear who these guys are. Most of them coming off the bench, along with 2 starters. Now looking at the rest of Michigan hoops, the brutal season, 8-24. All due respect here, probably guessing it's 33-38 now. Everything went wrong. From off the court stuff to on the court stuff, to things that haven't even come out yet. There should be an article dropping soon about everything that happened off the court. It was unbelievable, bro. I mean, some of this stuff, I'm excited to see what happens with this, article that everyone's been floating out on message boards and stuff, potentially coming out, to see what ends up happening. But it doesn't look good from the sense of Michigan basketball, but long term it's going to be great. I mean, Juwan, unfortunately, again, program legend, did his whole thing. It just really hasn't worked out here. Would you hire anyone different looking back on it? Probably not. I mean, you were between him, Ed Cooley, and like Rick Pitino? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, look at what Pitino and Cooley are doing now. I mean, I guess St. Johnny's is technically the tournament, but I mean, Cooley, oh boy. Now moving on to Michigan hockey. They're on the bubble right now for the tournament. I think they're in. I mean, they're going to get probably the Izzo type bump that a blue blood program like Michigan will get. But they have a game against Minnesota on Saturday. Excuse me. And you win, you play likely Michigan State at Michigan State, or God forbid Ohio State wins, it'd be Michigan hosting Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game the following Saturday, I believe. So big game for the Wolverines. They beat Minnesota again. They're for sure in the tournament. And then they get a rematch probably against Michigan State to, I think, 3-1 in the season. But if you win the conference championship, that's got to count for at least 2, right? Come on. So that'd be really good there. But yeah, that's what we got for Michigan athletics. Obviously, in terms of regions and stuff, I know it is election season coming up. I don't know who exactly is up for re-election, but I think it could be interesting seeing how the Harbaugh situation played out. They got a few months here to really state their case that they deserve to get another trip around the sun or two in their position. But we'll see. I think that the athletic director is going to be a big question, but obviously the Michigan basketball coach will be a pretty interesting hire. I think we'll see what happens there. So that's what we all have for the Michigan. I just want to do a quick little buzz through. I know it's not going to be as long as typical State of the Unions, but we'll have fun here. I guess we can start next with the Pistons. They're up next on my list here. 2-game win streak for the Pistons. Beat the Raptors on 3-1-3 day. That's obviously why we're dropping this video. So again, happy 3-1-3 day to all those with the area code in the Detroit area region, born in there, whatever, all that stuff. Great day for us here. It was very warm. I was able to actually eat lunch outside today at work. Pretty nice stuff. But yeah, they beat the Raptors tonight. Cade has really just turned up recently. He's averaging 22 and a half a game with 7 assists. And Duran dropped a 2020 game again tonight. He had a pretty rough stretch as being a defender. It looked like a traffic cone out there for a little bit. Got straight. They brought in Taj Gibson. He's actually really done well. I know James Wiseman has actually mentioned about how well it is, but we'll see what it is going forward. It wouldn't be a Michigan sports thing if I didn't have Tankathon up, which I didn't have up, but let me pull up right now to see what we're doing in the lottery. I believe it's us and the Wizards right now with San Antonio in between. Yep, Pistons 4-6 in their last 10. Do not let them get hot. 2-game win streak. Right now they're pick 2. According to this mock draft, we would be taking. Of course, I get the crazy name, Zachary Reicher. I don't even know that ethnicity, but he's playing for JL Bourg International from France, hometown Lyon, France. Another French guy. Looks like he's got a good 3-point percentage, good age. Hey, listen, 6'9" forward. Why not? I would say if I'm a Michigan guy, I would, or Michigan, if I'm one of the Pistons guys, some dudes I just like early. Rob Dillingham, point guard, but Ron Holland, G League. You got Alexandre Sarr, another French guy, like a 4 or 5 stretch type dude. He can get that shot down. It's pretty good. He's like a poor man's Wemby type deal. A bit more physical, though, at 7'1", 217, as opposed to Wemby is like 7'5", 100 pounds. So, but yeah, another 18-year-old there. Reed Shepard as well. Absolute sniper. I wouldn't hate if we fall down to 5 or 6 taking him. But yeah, we're not going to talk about draft right now. Let's stay positive. But Monty Williams turned a corner maybe a little bit. It seems like he's kind of giving up on the whole all bench unit thing, which is great to see. Love to see that, actually. He's kind of, mixing guys in. Fontecchio, great deal by Troy at the deadline. Finally got a guy right, it looks like. I know, obviously, we have to see how it is long term because, there's been quite a few flash in the pans. Obviously, like Sadiq Bey had a pretty good week or two, not week or two, like a season and a half in Detroit, but we'll see how he goes long term. And speaking of Troy, got in it with a fan the other night, went pretty viral. Everyone was taking the fan side. I may or might have said I want to buy this guy a beer. I just like that, they're kind of getting in his face and know that that we really demand excellence here in Detroit. I know it doesn't look like it and seem like it based on the last, basically decade, but I kind of like that they got it in his grill. Obviously, it's pretty inappropriate, and I don't really condone it, but at the same time, I thought it was good one time off. But yeah, the kid's total psycho. I mean, come on, what are you doing? Would I have done the same thing? Absolutely not. I have no stones to do that. So, but yeah, I think Troy cares. So obviously, is it really all his fault? Definitely not. I mean, he didn't want Monty, and it looks like Monty's, somewhat of a inside job type guy, but who knows? Pistons, man, don't let them get hot. The exact opposite of hot would be the Detroit Red Wings. They are currently on a 6-game losing streak. I went to the game last night in Buffalo, 7-3 loss, absolute shellacking. They scored right at the end to make it better. It was like 2-0 immediately. One of the goals was offside, and I was like, oh, no problem. I'll come down and score again. No Larkin is brutal, so I'm glad that we signed Larkin to that contract because, my goodness, he'd ask for a lot of money if you didn't sign him now because he is carrying this team. Kane still got some juice. DeBrinket's doing his thing. Bergeron looked great last night. Raymond's doing his thing as well. Raymond actually got in a fight in practice today. Mo Sider, I don't think it's actually him. I'm not totally sure. He doesn't have a check mark, so I can't tell you for sure. But Mo Sider did, the Mo Sider account did tweet, this is exactly what we wanted. So it might be him. I don't know. I mean, he tweets like a kind of like a shit poster, so I don't think it's him. But hey, regardless, I do like it. The scrapping in practice, kind of what you need to mix it up to get the boys going. with a big streak going up here. But you got the Coyotes and the Sabres again, 2 games you really should win. So hopefully they get some rest after the crazy West Coast trip. West Coast to Buffalo, brutal scene. I've done that flight a few times now. Brutal scene. So hopefully they get some rest and they can figure it all out. But yeah, they had some no acquisitions at the deadline. They're looking forward to re-signing Larkin, not Larkin, re-signing some of the guys, including Kane, but more importantly, extending and re-signing who else? Sider and Raymond, really the main guys. But nice to see Bergeron up here. Veleno got hurt last night, got hit like back here in the ear. So we'll see how he ends up doing with that. Casper's a guy that could probably come up. I know he came up at the end of the year last year with the Raptors against the Leafs in a pretty cool game there. I would love to see some of these kids come up. I think it'd be pretty cool. So, but yeah, moving on from the Wings. Do I think they make the playoffs? Probably not. Would it be really cool for them to make the playoffs? Absolutely, be great experience. But I mean, no one really thought they were going to. Outside like the optimistic idiots that didn't know much about hockey at the time, like me. I'm starting to get back in. I'm starting to understand that, yeah, they're definitely a little bit behind. You watch what's happened in some of these past few games, and there's zero physicality on this team. It just is what it is. We need that whoever that toxic kid is over in New York that's headhunting and trying to kill people. We need a guy like him. Give me Giovanni Smith back. Let's get some force on this team. Now I guess we could start with the Lions with the free agency going on. Signed and trade for some corners. Got Davenport, a good low risk edge. Low risk, high return type guy, freak athlete on the edge. Really can't stay healthy, but if he gets it right, he's an absolute animal. He's got all the tools, 6'6", runs like a 4.5 40. I mean, he's on paper unbelievable, but obviously it's more about it than on paper. Him and Houston, I think, can do a pretty good job rotating either side of Hutch. I'd like to see us add it in the draft, but I do like that he's pretty much addressed every need we've needed so far, except D-tackle, but we have that guy from Cincinnati coming on the visit. So, and Arik Armstead got released. So I think we could probably get one of those D-tackles, and then it's like, okay, we have no major needs, but we can kind of address what we do through the draft and let Holmes cook as he really has the last few seasons, especially obviously last year. But yeah, overall, I think Goff, he's got an extension coming up soon. Interesting to see what he's doing. This QB market's insane. I mean, if he gets the contract like Kirk Cousins, we might be selling more than jersey patches on teams going forward for the city of Detroit trying to figure it out. We'll see a big Ford logo on the helmet right behind the back, little Ford helmet stickers to make sure we can get some money raised. I guess it wouldn't be Ford because it's like the same family, but you know what I mean? Maybe like a what's a local company, a little Carhartt logo on the back or something. I don't know. Have Dan Campbell wear a Carhartt jacket, something stupid. I don't know. I'm just spinning right now, but Goff could cost a pretty penny. I know St. Brown also is looking to get extended. Some guys, you got to re-sign some key guys. CJ Gardner-Johnson goes back to Philly in a never-ending, very funny saga after obviously really having some no love lost leaving there. So it's interesting to see that he's back as well. But yeah, I think you look at the secondary type deal, maybe an edge rusher, obviously Demarcus Robinson, I think is the name. No, it's Darius Robinson, the kid from Mizzou. That edge rusher seems like it's going to be pretty much a match made in heaven. Him or Johnny Newton, Jazarian Newton from Illinois, excuse me. I think it pretty much would be one of those two. Would be my first round pick guess. Obviously, he could trade up for like a Brian Thomas type deal, which would be awesome. AD Mitchell's my dream, but we'll see. But yeah, I know it's seeming probably a little chaotic. It's probably all over the place, but good stuff here for the Lions. Obviously, 12-5, bringing back both coordinators. Super Bowl bust. Are those words probably terrifying for anyone being like, did he just say the Lions are Super Bowl or bust? Yeah, it's scary to say, but I think it's kind of got to be the mentality. And I think most of the players are bought in. Sewell wasn't really happy after the game. Nothing to be happy about. Blah, blah, blah. Obviously, there's stuff to be happy about, but not in that moment. But when you're in the weight room in the summer, when you're doing the OTAs, you're doing all this stuff, you're going to have that lingering taste. The Lions were up 3 scores at halftime with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. That's crazy. And it's like I wasn't even that mad. It's so weird. It was so bad that you didn't even get mad. Like the TCU game was gutting, but like this, it was weird. This wasn't even that mad. I'm sure I'm in the minority there, but I had freaking another monitor open with my tickets ready to go to LA or Las Vegas. You probably call me a jinx in the comments, but hey, I think everyone was doing it. Relax. Finally, we've got the Detroit Tigers. Straight up, the team I'm very much the least informed on. They're down in spring training right now, doing all right. Got a 4-game win streak before losing the Phillies today. Obviously, that doesn't really matter. Lions won the postseason, or Lions swept the preseason and went 0-16 in the season subsequent. So, yeah, Javi Baez is struggling. I know that's a big thing I've seen. No kidding. Grass is green. And then Jackson Jobe, one of our prospects, came in, was absolutely dealing or shoving, I believe is the term that the kids use nowadays. I think he threw 100 miles per hour a few times, absolutely dealing. I'll start to get into them a bit more. If the wings fall off, I'll be like, hey, look, here's a new shiny toy, the Tigers. But some interesting signings. Seems like we're still retaining for the old pitchers, trying to just kind of, the old pitchers, the younger pitchers that are getting older, and trying to move forward with that group, the core four, if you will, from the old Piston days. But it seems like we're second in the division in terms of odds behind the Twins. So would love the the Pistons to be competitive in August, late June or late July, early August would be great to see. Me to come back to Detroit for a weekend for some quality Tigers games. That'd be pretty cool. Or a run up to Toronto for that series. But overall, I think everyone's pretty content with what's going on with the Tigers. I think they want to do a bit more. But when does a fan base not want more in free agency? You got guys wanting the Lions to sign like 10 guys, trade for Snead, but we want the draft picks to be good, trade a future something. It's whatever. Let the guys cook. Most of them are pretty competent. Keyword most. But that's kind of all I got for now. I know it's a quick little video. I mean, 16 minutes for talking about this is nuts. Let me quickly pull up the DCFC is starting soon. I haven't even followed their offseason. I think it's pretty hard to. But the first USL Championship games are going on right now. Detroit City, I think they play like next week. No, this Saturday they play the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, I believe, is the team are playing. Correct. DCFC, I think we're a slight underdog. Who knows? But yeah, that's all we have for now. Let me know about what you think. Again, happy 313 today to all those that applies to. Pistons getting a job done on 313 day. Love it. Put the buffs on if you got them. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.